If you see something, say something. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining me on the Hopefulist. This is your dose of inspiration and positivity. And starting out with the quote of the day, going along with the theme and the topic we will be talking about, be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. That is from the 14th Dalai Lama. Who knew there were so many of them? So keep that in mind throughout today and every day. It is always possible to be kind. It's time for some good news. That's right, our new feature here on the Hopefulist. Feel good story, or a story with good news instead of bad news. The world is full of so much bad news. I'm going to try and focus on a little bit of good news. And today's good news is, that's right, your smartphone is not making you dumb. We've all heard this. Smartphone's making us dumber. It's making us dumber. There are plenty of negatives associated with your smartphone. Texting and driving are blue light rays inhibiting sleep. But now we can be assured that the digital age is not making us dumber, according to a new study. What smartphones and technology seem to do is change the ways in which we engage our biological cognitive abilities. I know, stay with me. But these changes are completely beneficial. Computers, tablets, smartphones assist with memorization, calculation, and storing information and presenting it when it's needed, because our phones can direct us to where we want to go, can solve mathematical problems with ease and memorize phone numbers. Our brains can use that energy for other uses. Additionally, smart technology allows us to make decisions that we would find difficult to make on our own. For example, using GPS technology can choose a route based on traffic conditions or whether to take a more scenic route. For example, your smartphone knows the way to the baseball stadium so that you don't have to dig out a map or ask for directions, which frees up brain energy to think about something else. I think that's what it comes down to a lot, is we have so much more time to think about things, which should be a great thing, but a lot of times we're not coming up with the best things to think about, which kind of leads right into my topic of the day about being kind. When you see someone bullying someone, you need to say something. I'm going to read you a couple of signs that have been posted in my neighborhood from some local establishments. One of them is from one of my favorite ice cream places, Skipper Dipper. The sign has been posted. It's been a rough year for everyone. Please do not annoy, torment, pester, plague, harangue, worry, badger, harry, harass, heckle, persecute, irk, bullyrag, vex, disquiet, grate, beset, bother, tease, nettle, or ruffle our staff of authorized dippers. Why is a sign like that necessary? Here's something even worse. Yes, we are closed tonight. Several people verbally abused our staff to the point of tears last night, and we all needed a break. We are trying our best. Please remember that there are humans behind the counter serving you, and that wait times are estimates. We live in a resort area, so for a business to close for a whole day during peak season means they will lose a lot of money. Kudos to them for taking care of their employees first. Now, the fact that their employees were treated so badly, they were brought to tears, is such a sad state of affairs in this country. I mean, we all know somebody who's oversensitive, who's, likely to cry at the drop of a hat. This obviously was not the case here. They were all bullied so much to the extent that the owner said, all right, we're all taking the day off tomorrow. We're going to regroup. We're going to shake it off. And we'll come back strong the day after. From what I understand, this outburst was because patrons were told their food would take 20 minutes and it ended up being 35. I also keep hearing how nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody wants to work. So why would you treat those that do want to work so badly? We've gotten so far away from kindness, it's frightening. People seem to forget that these people they are screaming at are actual human beings with feelings. They're someone's child, spouse, sibling, and friend. You know, this is not going to help with the work shortage. A lot of these jobs are taken by young adults or teenagers. I wouldn't want my kid to work in the service industry right now. Absolutely not. Why would I want to put them through that? If we all treated others as we would our own children, we would be much better off. But to make someone cry because you had to wait an extra 15 minutes, it's intolerable. This is an epidemic in this country. Social media has made it very easy to bash and be hostile to others, and now it's running over into real life. In my opinion, people have gotten so used to being nasty online, it's carrying over into their face-to-face interactions. I think it's time we bring back a little kindness to the world. When you see someone acting like a buffoon, say something. If you're non-confrontational, which most of us are, if you can't bring yourself to address the person acting out, then say a kind word to the employee being harassed. Just be like, hey, you know what? You're doing a great job under the circumstances. And say it right in front of that person. But if you feel up to it, tell that buffoon to stop. Ask him or her why she thinks she's entitled to speak to someone in such a way. And there it is, really, entitlement. We have such an issue with entitlement in this country. Everyone is so worried about themselves and doesn't care how what they want affects others. We want what we want when we want it. And if it doesn't happen on our timeline, we feel free to just lash out. No. This is not how life works. You are not the center of the universe. Stuff happens. And we all need to learn how to roll with it a little bit better. When you see someone berating a worker at a business establishment, imagine it were your daughter or your son. Speak up. It's time for this to stop. Now, there have always been people who treat service workers badly, but it's gotten so common now. There's a need for signs to remind people to be kind to workers. I find this so sad and ludicrous. We're all on edge. We've all had a tough year. Things are opening up, and we are all trying to get back to normal. If you are that irate that your food is taking longer than expected, then leave. Go to Wawa, the local convenience store. Pick up a sandwich. It's already done and waiting for you. I know you don't want a sandwich. Too bad. It's just crazy. Speaking of Wawa, I went to our local Wawa the other day to pick up some French vanilla creamer because theirs is the best. It's the best. It's the best. I love it. I had stopped at one on the way home from somewhere the other day, and they were just all gone. Every single creamer was gone. When I went to the one by my house, not only were there no creamers available, the spot where they kept them was filled with other items. So I went up to the woman at the cash register, and I said, have you moved where you keep the creamer? She goes, oh, well, whatever we have is out there. I'm like, no, but there's like not even a spot for it. There's milk there now. She's like, all right, let me call in the back. Calls in the back. She's like, do we have any creamer back there? And I see her eyebrows go up, and she looks at me and goes, we're not selling it anymore. Did you hear what I said? We're not selling it anymore. What? Anybody who knows me knows that Wawa's French vanilla creamer is my jam. Don't give me coffee meat. Don't give me any of those others. Oh, no, they are not the same. You have got to give me Wawa French vanilla creamer. So when she said this, I looked at her and I said, okay, you've just totally ruined my life. And I chuckled. It was a joke. And she's like, I know. I can't believe they're doing this. We sell so much of that. I'm like, I know. I can't believe it either. She's like, well, you can always go to the coffee station and just, pour a cup of creamer. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can do that. So I left, and I still had almost a whole creamer at home. I usually like to keep some backup so I don't have to keep going to Wawa. Now, I could have went off on that woman, and some people would have gone off on that woman. It's not her fault. It wasn't her decision. She's just the messenger. I joked with her about it. I let her know, okay, this is a big deal to me, but I'm not mad at you because you have nothing to do with it. It's the same thing when you are yelling at a worker for your food taking too long. It's not their fault that the food is taking too long. Stop screaming at people because you can. By the way, Wawa has brought their creamer back. Thank goodness. I went in the other day to get my cup full of creamer, and I went to double check, and they now have two of their old creamers back. They have the French vanilla and they have the hazelnut. And so I grabbed two, and I woke up to the register, and I'm like, so I was told that you won't be selling these anymore. Did they change their mind? And he just nods his head up and down. And I said, so there was an outrage. And he's like, yeah. You know what probably had happened that made them change their mind? Because they know their sales. They know that they sell a lot of them. My guess is everybody was going to the coffee station, pouring themselves a 24-ounce cup of creamer, and they ran out of creamer for their own coffee station. That's my guess. Just a guess. I don't know. I don't care how it happened. I'm just happy it's back. Just happy it's back. So, let's all stick up for one another a little bit more. If you see someone being a bully, call them out, or at least counteract with some kind words for the person getting bullied. We need to start being more kind to each other. Maybe if these bullies are put in their place once in a while, it won't happen as often. When people see you, and I'm not saying you, but when, as a bully, if people see you acting out and then say something to you, you might think about it a little bit more before you go off on somebody again the next time. Let's do this, people. Let's spread kindness instead of hate. Stick up for your fellow human and be badass about it. If you like this episode, please leave me a review and share it with your friends. Now, go be kind out there. Please, we all need a little more kindness. I'm always here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.